With the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern, the economy.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID. And when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates. That was a disaster for our country. But other than that, we had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce-back jobs, a bounce-back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
That $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
What's up, YouTubers? It's Mr. Rembrandt here. So we just had the first presidential debate with Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. And man, was it a slammer. So, was it everything you thought it would be and more? But nevertheless, the odds had Trump winning the debate easily. And to be honest, by everybody's account just about, on the left and on the right, Trump absolutely slaughtered Joe Biden. The left is in a complete frenzy right now. They are crying liberal tears. It's flooded right now. And I'm getting ready to show you why that is. So we're going to get into that and some other clips. But without further ado, here's the video.
That you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again.
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor in writing, by the way, the mayor in writing turned it down, the mayor of D.C.
Hold on. What? Pelosi did what recently? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this clip.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
No, that is not a question of how they had been. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her. And she now admits that she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
President Biden?
No, but he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court, and they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing. The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now. And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody, just went in and broke down doors, broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks, turned them over statues. The idea that those people are patriots? Come on. When I asked him the first two debates we had, the debates we had first time around, I said, will you denounce the Proud Boys? He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by. The idea he's refusing, will you denounce these guys? Will you denounce the people we're talking about now?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you...
Oh, snap. And don't we remember this clip?
I guess the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone.
Listen, a lot of people on the left try to ignore this preeminent fact. But on January 6th, Trump multiple times told everyone to go home.
Okay, we're going to go to that right now. Here's a message from President Trump.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We have to have peace.
So go home. We love you. You're very special.
Don't engage in violence. Go home. So the left loves to ignore this. They love to lie about it. And they like to conveniently forget that this even happened. But Trump called in the military. He called in for help. And like he has been saying for many years, they told him no. And now that this video has been released, we see that Pelosi admits it's her fault and that she turned them away. And even from that day, she said that she is accountable. Listen, this is the MO of the left. Joe Biden also did nothing during the quote-unquote summer of love. Yeah, don't we remember all the BLM riots during that summer?
Chaz in Seattle, I saw all the windshields being smashed, giant rocks that were being thrown, businesses that were starting to be looted. The crowds were being ordered to retreat. I experienced the tear gas, I experienced the smoke. This was very real to me.
Biden was never a good choice. Biden was never a good candidate. Even in the primary debates of the last election, Biden could not speak. Biden technically is running a criminal enterprise and colluding with his son on the board of foreign countries while funneling government money into entities that Joe Biden owns while he was vice president. The Hunter enterprise with their shady dealings, and yes, Trump is being charged on different charges, but they're all witch hunts of charges. But it's nothing like the actual criminal enterprise that Biden has. Listen, Trump is smart, he's witty, and he's a workhorse who is physically capable of being president again. I remember reading Donald Trump's books many, many years ago before he was president. And I remember seeing in his book he had this schedule that showed that he wakes up at 5 a.m. in the morning to start off his day, answering phone calls, looking at real estate, and going to development sites, and he doesn't even go to bed until 10 p.m. And he does this 6 days a week. 5 to 10, 6 days a week. Just like his father, Fred Trump, used to do the same exact thing. Never take a day off. Trump is incredibly capable of doing the job, and Biden is not.
Concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago.
While there's many, many, many clips of the debate itself, and you can go back and watch the full debate if you haven't, but here's my overall and full response to conclude the debate itself. Like Trump said about abortion, he doesn't want to ban abortion. It's up to the states, which leads the decision up to the people, which is how it should be. So you vote in your state. Republicans don't actually mind abortion mostly for incest, life, danger, and the death of a baby or mother. And a large portion, not a majority, but a large portion of Republicans actually are okay with first trimester. But Democrats, they're supportive of late-term abortions and at uncomfortable rates. As well as, he's right, the governor of Virginia did say those exact words, because I was in Virginia at the time when the governor actually said those particular things.
The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired.
And I regret that those comments have been mischaracterized.
Republicans accuse the governor of supporting laws that would kill babies.
Words have meaning.
They're concerned the bill in question loosens the high standard required to have a third trimester abortion.
But Biden talks about how he has helped blacks. He has not helped blacks the way Trump has.
Now I want one with you. Come.
Oh, okay. Come on. He's personally requested
Come on,
me.
let's go. That's good. Beautiful.
Yeah, can my friend Dom get in one too?
Yes.
She's fundraising
Come on
for
in.
the GOP.
Come on in.
Yep,
Come
she
on
helps
in.
me. Yes, Kayla, yes.
We're going to get rid of Biden.
Bye-bye, Sleepy Joe. The worst president in the history of the United States, and he's horrible to the black community, whether you like it or not.
Been that way
treats
since
the
a
black
senator.
community bad. And check out his record in the 1990s. Check out his record in the 1990s.
You're economically what's for us. Yes.
Well, opportunities.
Opportunity-wise, everything, holistic.
Best job numbers ever.
The First Step Act. Let's talk about it.
And the colleges and universities.
Yep.
I think she's got the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Honey, can I get one picture before you go? You take care of yourself. Honey, can I get one picture before you go? One picture. Let's go fast. Come.
When Trump was president, he signed the HBCU bill.
Breaking, President Trump has signed a bipartisan bill that permanently funds HBCUs. The bill provides more than $250 million to these universities and others that serve minority students. This bill, most known for simplifying the FAFSA that determines financial aid for these students.
So this is historically black colleges and universities executive order, very important to all of us. This group has been fantastic, many of which we were with yesterday, and really developed something very special. So thank you all for being here.
And had minority business zones that he signed. He had stimulus that the minority community loved very well. And he had Martin Luther King Day proclamation that he signed with the Martin Luther King family.
I want to thank Secretary Carson, along with Isaac Newton Ferris Jr., and the many distinguished guests for joining us here today. It's a great honor. Earlier this week, I had the tremendous privilege to join Isaac and Alveda to sign into law legislation redesignating the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site to the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Park. The new law expands the area protected and historic sites for the future. Generations of Americans are becoming so important, and this is a great honor for us and a great honor to Dr. King.
And what has Biden done? Biden says blacks aren't black if they don't vote for him. Remember that? He says blacks are super predators. Do you even know or remember that?
We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them.
Under Biden, we have also had incredibly higher gas prices, higher rent, higher groceries, which are all through the roof. And it's making people incredibly angry. Biden claims, well, I had the most jobs. Trump responded to him in a debate by saying, you didn't have the most jobs, I did. Okay, COVID happened, you wanted to shut down everything, then eventually people went back to work. Now you want all the credit? That's not how this works, okay? Listen, Biden got slaughtered so badly in this debate that it has the left going crazy. Left-leaning governors, left-leaning senators, left-leaning officials are nervous about their future in the left-leaning policy and their position as in politics to get booted out. They're soiling their pants, and they know it. Okay, they think that this race was close. In the debate, they would lie about Biden's performance. They would have said he looked awesome, he looked great, he looked sharp, he looked prepared. But because Trump is already leading by a comfortable margin, and Biden got knocked out of the first round, basically, of this fight, from the first moment of the debate, the left knows they cannot play themselves. And even attempting to lie about this is hanging themselves. So some people are predicting a changeup might happen, like late in the ninth inning, right before the election is going to happen. But nonetheless, let's hear what some of the left-leaning commentators and journalists have to say from the post-debate recap.
It was a game-changing debate in the sense that right now, as we speak, there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. And they're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal, which they think will hurt other people down the party in the ticket, and they're having conversations about what they should do about it. Some of those conversations include, should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? Other of the conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public with that call? Because they feel this debate was so terrible. It started with the first couple of answers, and it has continued throughout the night from a, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, to what do we do about this? And it involves very senior people in the Democratic Party, including elected officials, saying we have a problem.
And just to co-sign what John is saying, I mean, the panic that I am hearing from Democrats is not like anything that I have heard.
There is a feeling, I think there was a sense of shock, actually, how he came out at the beginning of this debate, how his voice sounded, he seemed a little disoriented. He did get stronger as the debate went on, but by that time, I think the panic had set in, and I think you're going to hear discussions that I don't know will lead to anything, but there are going to be discussion about whether he should continue.
Listen, if anybody in America thinks that was even close to being an okay debate by Joe Biden, I'm living in a parallel universe. That was an unmitigated disaster for President Biden from the second he walked out to the closing statement. The biggest issue for Democrats is abortion, and he couldn't give an answer. He gave an answer, he couldn't even give a coherent answer on the biggest issue for Democrats tonight. I've heard from leading Democrats across the United States, elected governors, congressmen, who are texting me and saying, I'm worried I'm going to lose if Joe Biden's at the top of the ticket. Bob Casey, I promise you tonight, in the state of Pennsylvania, is thrown up in his mouth because he knows that if he's got to stand next to Joe Biden, he's going down in Pennsylvania. If he's on the ticket, I don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah, I'll give you the analysis. You kind of have the old man versus the con man. I can walk you through how I'm supposed to see it and say it, but I just want to speak from my heart. I love that guy. That's a good man. He loves his country. He's doing the best that he can. But he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base, and he failed to do that. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention, and there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that.
Listen. But before we close it out, no, there was a moment in the debate that really hit me hard. And it didn't hit me hard in a humorous way like a lot of the moments in the debate did. But it hit me hard in an incredibly serious way. Because I really felt for Trump when he said this particular thing in this moment. And I hope the American people feel the same way that I did. Because I've been in many situations where I had to take the lead and I had to take a promotion. I had to move up the chain in a company, not because I wanted to, not because I wanted the responsibility, not because I wanted the extra money, but because I was the person who everybody felt like could do it. I was the next person up and everybody wanted me to do it. And I really felt for Trump when he said this because I've been in that situation myself.
If the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody, and I'll tell you something, I wish he was a great president because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here, but the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again.
We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
Listen, thanks for watching the video. I hope that you really enjoyed it. Stick around for some other videos that I have that are great videos coming up ahead. I have podcast videos, explainer videos, and me having these reaction videos giving you the breakdowns of what's really going on. So if you want to listen to more of my stuff about politics, or you want to buy my new book, Leftism, The Mental Illnesses of the Political Left, which breaks down the psychological, biological, and heritable traits and deep aspects that make you understand why people on the left are exactly the way they are. So, link in the description, and you can buy the book. Link in the description. And if you want to stick around and watch another video, you definitely sure can. I'm Mr. Rembrandt. See you on the next video.